What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and today we're going to talk about 3 signs that predicted that Snype wasn't ready and that it was doomed to fail. As you probably know by now, Rick Probstein is shutting down Snype just a couple weeks after he launched it and returning to eBay, and there has been plenty of YouTube content talking about what happened there. But I'm going to take a different angle. I'm going to go over 3 things that I found that in hindsight, and hindsight is always 2020, in hindsight basically said that this thing wasn't ready and was doomed to fail. So let's jump right into it. The first thing is something that I didn't know about until I did some research tonight, and it was on LinkedIn. You can see this is Rick Probstein, and he posted, excited about the next phase of our business as we expand and build out our own live commerce platform. We're looking for a senior DevOps engineer to help us get there. If you or someone you know would be a great fit, tell them to apply. Perfectly fine job posting on LinkedIn. That's exactly what LinkedIn is for. The problem with this is this right here. This was posted 4 months ago, so like I'm gonna say mid-July-ish. That's not enough time for you to hire a senior DevOps engineer. And if you're not familiar with technology and what DevOps is, here is the Coles Notes for you. It is a way of building software quickly. The key sentence here is DevOps encompasses necessary tasks of software development and can lead to shortening development time and improving the development lifecycle. So basically, a way to launch software quickly. That is what a DevOps means. And so a senior DevOps engineer is someone that's building code and then making sure that things are being tested and then going back and building more code. That's the software development, and then the ops part is to like operationalize it, right? This is like a very, very simplistic way of looking at it. And if we go to the job posting, because there is a job posting, you can see there's a link right there. If you click on it, and here it is, you can see that it says this role will serve as the technical lead of our DevOps function and report directly to the CEO, which is Rick, and senior management team. Again, totally fine. The problem is, why are you doing this 4 months, which means that's really 3 months before launch, 3.5 months before launch? That's not enough time for you to hire your like technical lead. That 3.5 months before launch, and you're hiring a technical lead. And so there's only 3 ways that this can come about. One is you had a technical lead and he quit or was fired or whatever. 2 is you didn't want to hire someone to be the technical lead until 3 months before, also not good. Or 3, you didn't think you needed one until 3 months before, and then you realize, the team we have in place is a guy short. We need someone to take that job on. Neither of those 3 things are good. The other thing is $125,000 to $175,000 for this type of role in the current market, in the current economy. That's actually not a lot for this type of role, and with the qualifications that they ask for, which is 10 plus years in DevOps, infrastructure and platform engineering roles, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't want to get too technical on you, but like this is too late. Whatever reason got you here, whether it is because someone quit and you didn't have a backup plan, or you realized I need someone senior to guide the ship because it's going off course, or because you didn't think you needed one at all, or you thought that your team was good enough as it is without a lead. It doesn't matter. This is way too late. If you are realizing that at that point that this is when you need a technical lead, that you're gonna fail, because that means you're not gonna build stuff on time. Because as part of building technology, you need to do something called pen testing, and pen testing is basically hiring someone to see if they can hack their way into the website. You can see here, Google says pen testing is a simulated cyber attack used to find and fix security vulnerabilities in a computer system before a real attacker can exploit them. So basically, it is ethical hacking. You're hiring someone to see if they can hack in, but you can't do that until you've built the thing. And based off of these timelines and some of the other things that we're going to talk about, this thing was not ready. And so if a thing is half built, you can't see if you can hack into it. You can only see if you can hack into something until after it's been built, right? And so this whole, like the posting of this job 4 months before, or 3 months, 3.5 months before it launches, is surefire sign that it's not going well. And now hindsight being 2020, obviously this is a sign that it's not going to end well, but nobody knew about this until now. Like, I didn't know about this until I did a search for Probstein auctions on LinkedIn. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing, and it ties back to the lack of a technical lead, is their search function, or their lack of a search function, or maybe their search dysfunction. I had done a previous video going through the various features of Snype and its auction, so I'm just going to play a clip of that video for you right now. I'm going to type in, you can see here, I have gold prism, and I'm going to hit enter. Do you know what shows up? Every single time prism and Golden State Warriors shows up. You can see this is a silver prism Kevin Durant. It is not a gold prism, but because Golden State has the word gold in it, and prism is right here, I get that. You can see here, this is another Kevin Durant, Golden State Warriors, gold. Oh, actually, this one's actually gold. This is an actual black gold prism, so that's what I'm looking for. But Quentin Post plays for the Golden State Warriors, but this is a purple ice. You can see here, Podemsky is another Golden State Warrior. This is a green shimmer. This is a national gold pack, so I'll give them a pass on this one. But here is a Steph Curry blue prism, blue ice prism, but because he plays for the Golden State Warriors, this is included in the search as well. So this is a big fail right off the bat. And so you can see here, the search function doesn't work properly. And I did a search the day that the website crashed, and it still was the same. Golden State Warriors was still showing up when you did a search for Gold Prism. It still a disaster. It was not working properly. And so that goes back to they didn't have enough time, or they didn't hire enough people, or they didn't hire the right people to build the search function. They just didn't do a good enough job of building the right team, of hiring the right people, or of hiring enough people to build the thing. And the search function, or the search dysfunction, is a telltale sign that this thing was not built well or built properly. So that's the second thing. The third thing is an idea for marketing that Rick shared on the Sports Card Dad's channel. And I remember even thinking at the time when I heard this, that this sounded kind of insane to be one of the key ways you are going to market and advertise your product. I'm just going to let this speak for itself over the next 30 seconds. Here we go.
So we're going to be running a contest. We made a sort of like a AI generated fake ad promoting the company. It's kind of cute. You'll see it shortly. And so if you make your own AI generated ad for our company, right, and you have to write, you have to have in the video somewhere, sell it on Snype, and then you also have to have Snype.com somewhere in the video, and no copyright infringements, in the video. But you could probably even promote your own video, and we're going to run a contest. And then
So Rick's idea for how to market and advertise his company is to have you and me and anybody else who decides to try to create AI generated marketing materials, AI generated commercials, and then create a contest where the winner would win a pair of Super Bowl tickets. That was his idea for how he wanted to create marketing. I'm just going to let that sit with you for a second. This man's idea was not even for himself to use AI and control what it was. It was to basically crowdsource marketing using AI, but from his customers. That's what we're going to do. Like, if that doesn't scream, I don't want to spend any money and I want to cut costs, I don't know what does. But that is an insane idea, and I think it really speaks to the focus on minimizing costs for the launch of Snype, and is probably what doomed it, because the focus on minimizing costs also leads to situations like this where you don't have someone in place at the right time or enough people at the right time, and that has a cascading effect. So the fact that this job posting even existed 4 months ago, that he thought crowdsourcing his customer base and his consigners and whoever else to create AI commercials for his new company, like that was how he was going to do this. I don't know what else to say other than, I guess in hindsight, looking back on it, this thing was going to work out because it didn't have the right people in place and not enough resources was put into it, because it sure seems like Rick was cutting costs everywhere and anywhere he could. That's just my personal opinion. Feel free to sound off in the comments down below. Thank you, as always, for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.